Welcome to another episode of Entrepreneurs en Fuego. We're documenting the journey of incredible entrepreneurs. Shyla Collier.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Premier social media.
Yes.
And you have a book.
I do.
That it's literally hot off the press.
It is, yes.
I mean, literally.
First shipment.
First shipment, and we're kind of the first people who are privy to your book, which is called Social Media, The Key to Credibility.
Yes.
Unlock the opportunities by marketing and establishing business credibility online. And that's what you do.
I do.
You are a social media queen or social media expert.
There
we go.
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
So we focus on social media, of course, but also networking. So we have 5 networking groups around Arizona. They are women's networking, and we bring in social media and networking together. So that's why it's different than others.
Tell us about that combination. Tell us about the women networking. Is this just for women networking?
Yeah. So as far as right now, of course, we want to go nationwide
right.
at some point and have co-ed groups and men's groups as well. But as of the moment, we're doing all women's groups. And I've had them for over 4 years, and just totally took off. It was really made just for my friends, and then I guess it ended up being
and these
awesome.
That sounds incredible. Now, are these women entrepreneurs? Local?
They are all local.
All local women entrepreneurs, business entrepreneurs, and they meet for what?
So we meet once a month, and we tell about our businesses. I teach them how to find leads online on Facebook specifically, and then so all the women are out as a team looking for leads for each other.
It's one of the things that we've learned as entrepreneurs, and actually we're coming up with our own book
awesome.
next month, and one of the things that, because we've interviewed so many entrepreneurs, so there are lessons that are there to learn, and one of the lessons that we learned, and you said it just right now, is the fact that you are with other women helping each other.
Yes,
and
definitely.
when the tide rises, as they say, all the boats float, all the boats rise, and that's what you're doing.
Yes, and that's what networking is all about. It's all about helping each other. So
that's phenomenal.
It's really awesome.
That's phenomenal.
And then of course the social media just adds a whole nother aspect. So we help with both areas instead of just one.
Social media is fairly new. When I say fairly new, like maybe it's just a 10-year-old industry. Really, not that much longer than that. I mean, since Facebook really, is the one that launched Facebook.
Yes.
Social media.
Social media,
Facebook, right.
Definitely the biggest ROI moneymaker would be Facebook.
Let's talk about ROI. If you are not paying money on social media, does it really work?
Yes, definitely. Actually, we have a whole approach. So we do social media trainings as well as social media management and all of online marketing. But yes, we have a whole entire approach. And so it's a 4-hour class on how to market yourself on Facebook and how to make money with Facebook without paying Facebook. So that's what I specialize in.
If Facebook, if you're not paying online and you're only reaching a very few number of people, how does that translate into an ROI?
So that's why you want to get on the right track and to make it go out to a lot of people. And so we have a whole approach to do that.
How are you defining ROI? By the number of likes?
No, money.
Right.
Making money. We all want to make money with our business. So.
Okay. So
we help the business owners, teach them every single thing that we know about Facebook on how to make money with it, how to get it out to the most people, how, to make it profitable.
Awesome. Give us one trick, one tip that we all should know, that we're doing something wrong.
I would say the biggest thing is to mix the networking in with the social media. So it's more of a personal approach, and that's how ours is different from others. It's more of a personal approach. So you get to know your clients. You get to know them personally.
Okay, I'm a little bit
online.
Online, okay.
Yes.
So you have a networking.
So you go to a networking event.
Okay.
Now you connect with them all online. Now you have them there forever. So you're making friendships as well as.
Do you create a group for that networking?
So I have 33 groups actually.
All right.
As far as only 5 of them are the paid ones, and then the rest of them are actually unpaid, to get to know people kind of things.
All right.
And
so now,
sales groups, stuff like that.
Got it. So now through the groups is how you send your messages out.
Right. But also ones that you don't have to own the groups to do that. There's just so many groups all around that people are looking for stuff that you'll have.
Okay. So is that really how you should promote yourself? Through groups? Is that?
Yeah, I think groups is the best way.
Yeah.
But of course, there's other, options too. You could do paid. I just think that the groups work much better.
And this is all free.
It is, yes. It sure is.
Of the social media, that is out there, LinkedIn, and you have in your book, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Google Plus, and Pinterest.
And LinkedIn.
And LinkedIn is in there as well. Of these groups, and the groups that you have that you meet on a regular basis, these are women entrepreneurs.
Right.
Of these, is there a preferred one? Is there a mix? Is there an optimal mix that one should be aware of? Or?
So I say you should be on all of them, and then you pick the top 3, and then you pick your top 1. So the top 3.
How do you pick that? What determines the?
I say Facebook is always your number 1, no matter what.
Is Facebook becoming more of a business platform?
I would say so, yes.
I mean,
not what it was made for, but yes, it definitely has become that.
Really? Because except you don't post your cat there anymore, no, do you? Pictures of me once in a while, or pictures of your lunch, or you don't see those things as often as if I am scrolling down Facebook. I see more. Not ads per se, but somebody's selling me something, man.
Right, and most of them are doing it in the wrong approach, for sure. Because your personal page should be more about your person, not your business. But it kind of all intertwines, and you got to know how to do it without throwing everything in people's faces.
Exactly,
and so non-annoying way.
Precisely,
sure.
and you would have to be in multiple platforms, because if you're just on one, then you're just going to reach a very few number of people.
Correct. Right? You're going to get a different crowd in each one. That's why all of them they all have their reasons to be on them. Facebook is the number 1 ROI moneymaker. YouTube, you can get ranked, first page on Google. Awesome, because that's by Google. Same with Google Plus. We use that for SEO. Also Pinterest, that's more of, the fun sort of one. But actually the biggest money spent there is $140 is the money spent on Pinterest per transaction, which I thought that was really crazy.
Oh, that is crazy.
Yeah. So people are actually spending on Pinterest as well, and most people wouldn't think that. And then, of course, Twitter is, the younger crowd and more to get a following, and same with the Instagram as well.
How did you find out? Now, let's talk about your journey as an entrepreneur, right? How did you find out that, wow, I have a talent for this. I want to do this and I want to spread this out. And certainly that's what you've created, right? You've created all these groups in Facebook. You've created all this networking for women. And then you've found a way to conflate not only the networking, but the social media in such a way that is very synergistic. How did you find this?
I would say I have 10 years in marketing experience in general, and that's kind of right when Facebook was taking off.
Right.
And then I have a degree in advertising and photography. I actually was a photographer for 10 years. So they kind of all come together. And so now we do pretty much everything under the one main bracket. But basically I was at an SBDC kind of a class, and they're like, wow, you know a lot, you could teach it. And then so I kept going back, and finally towards the end I was teaching most of it. So I realized,
you probably knew more than everybody else that was around. And they're like, maybe you should be teaching the class instead of sitting on the other side.
Yeah, exactly. So that day I was like, it was kind of an epiphany. Okay, let's do this, because people need this.
What are we doing wrong in social media?
I would say kind of what we were talking about prior. Everyone's always on their personal page, saying, do this, do that. And it's all about business, and they're just throwing it in everyone's faces. You don't want to be friends with people like that. No, use your business page, use your personal, but you can kind of mix the two together, of course, because your business connections should become your friends. They should, so that they feel, loved and special. So I would say that's the biggest thing, is not commingling those, but then, or doing it wrong.
When somebody tells me, I've got, 500 likes on whatever I posted, does that mean what does that mean?
Right, yeah, you definitely have to do it the right way, or else it's not going to get you anything. And especially on Facebook, it's typically like 1% see your post. So it's not really doing anything. So we got to make sure that we get it out there to everyone. And
so there's some tricks, there's some... You can, I don't want to say game the system, but you have to know the system. You have to know the tools that you're working with in order to maximize what you're doing.
And it's very, very, very complex. That's why just for Facebook alone, it's a 4-hour training. So
that's what we would have to go with somebody like Shyla Collier from Premier Social Media. Are there any tips and tricks in here in this
There
book?
are. It's more of telling you each platform and what it's good for kind of thing, but there are some tips and tricks in there. And then the back is more of a workbook on how to
Yep.
get started.
Oh, there is
And
a
it has a
workbook, yeah.
calendar and everything in there. And so this will go along with my training so they can actually put stuff in there, but it also works on its own as well.
Wow. And so, how do we get this book?
So it's on my website. It's premiersocialmedia.com.
PremierSocialMedia.com.
Premier with an E on the end. Be sure to add that part.
I know, because
Yes.
otherwise it takes you to some hotel or something.
Yeah, don't go on that one. That is very confusing.
Premier with an E in the end,
Yes.
and that's where you go. And is it free? Does it cost any money? Is it?
Yeah, so
what
it's
is it?
$19.97.
Okay.
And it'll have a wealth of information.
It's
for-
got all sorts of
Yes.
tricks, and I'm not going to tell people. What the tricks is.
They got to read it
You
themselves.
got to read it yourself.
Yes.
Are we going to get one?
You are.
Don't be calling for tips and tricks, man. You got to buy the book. Shyla Collier, man, you're absolutely. Social media is by the way, this is another thing. It's changing so fast, right?
It is, yes.
Just-
Every day there's something that I notice.
Just
is
when you
different.
thought you got it all figured out,
Exactly.
boom, they change the algorithm, they
do.
change something else, or they add something else. So you have to be how many
On the
hours? Yeah, how many hours do you spend on social media?
Per day, I'd say close to 10, actually.
Close to 10
Yeah,
hours.
because I always have my phone next to me, even if I'm not actually on there, I'm on there. So,
So you rarely see the sunshine outside.
pretty much.
There you
Yes.
go. You heard it here. So it does take dedication. It's time
It
consuming.
does. It is. And that's why people hire us to do the management if
Right.
they don't want to do it. So,
If you were spending 10 hours on this thing, and you're probably spending another 2 or 3 that you're not telling us about,
Right.
then you're doing right for your clients.
yes, definitely.
Amen. With that, we're out.
Welcome